DR Horton is the largest builder in the nation. They built just about 18,000 more homes than their closest competitor in 2021. And DR Horton's responsible for 1 out of every 10 new construction home built in the U.S. So there's no doubt that nationwide they are a powerhouse when it comes to building homes. However, when you build approximately 75,000 homes in a year, you're bound to have a few mistakes and bound to have a few issues. So let's take a look at the pros and cons of DR Horton here in Coastal Delaware. For those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Matt Lunden. I'm a real estate agent here in Coastal Delaware, and I put out content each and every week discussing Coastal Delaware and real estate here in the Coastal Delaware area. If that's something that you'd like to see some more of, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button down below. And if you or someone you know is thinking of buying or selling here in Delaware, that's what I help you with every single day, and I would love to help you. So don't hesitate to reach out. DR Horton would not be able to build as many homes as they do if everyone was unhappy with the final product. Now, they do receive a lot of negative press online, but statistically they're likely to have more negative reviews since they're building a significantly larger number of homes than their closest competitor. Again, I know sorting through the noise online can be tough, so let's just jump right into what DR Horton does well and what they could improve on. The first thing to do really well is build time. So the fastest move-in times in new construction belong to DR Horton. When we discussed Ryan Homes, we said they were fast, and they certainly are. But Ryan Homes doesn't start building until you're actually under contract. DR Horton, on the other hand, they're about typically 90 days to move in from contract date. And the speed to settlement is due to DR Horton, in most cases, not allowing their homes to be sold until they're through the framing stage and onto the drywall phase. So at this point, they've already had all their permits received. They've built the home to a point where they're under roof, so they don't have to worry about the weather. And they can give you a more solid timeline as to when the construction will be completed. The nice part about them is that building this way is the price is already set. So you don't have a lot of those issues where all of a sudden, your options and upgrades get you to $100,000 more. In the DR Horton scenario, you just buy, what they've already picked out. So selections and options are 99% of the time already selected for you. The second thing they do really well is their spacious floor plans. Most of their floor plans are laid out with a focus on the living spaces, and they do a nice job with their floor plans. They often have open floor plans that have plenty of entertaining space. They do offer a mix of single floor and 2-floor homes. Both are well thought out. Most of their 2-level homes do have a bedroom on the first floor, which is a highly desirable feature here in Coastal Delaware. I think the third pro for them is the features included. I think one of the coolest things that they do is what they call their smart home technology. They include a number of smart home features in their homes, and one of the coolest ones is our Wi-Fi enabled thermostats that come with your home, so you can control your thermostat and the temperature in your home even when you're not home, just from an app on your phone, which I think is really cool. As we shift our focus over to some of the things that DR Horton could improve on, I think the biggest con for DR Horton is that you don't typically get to make selections. So DR Horton waits until they're at the framing or drywall phase before even listing the homes for sale. And at that stage, most of the items are already ordered and in place, so you don't get to really select any options. The home is basically sold as a spec home where they have selections, options, upgrades all pre-selected for you, and you're just picking out what best fits you. With that style, you're going through a similar process as to you would with existing construction, in that you couldn't really change countertops and stuff if you're buying a resale. In this situation, you're just buying a spec home, which is new construction, but a lot of those finishes have already been selected for you. Number 2 on the cons list, lot selection. If you want a particular floor plan or a particular model, they're only going to be building that on a certain number of lots. If you want that particular model with a certain color siding, they're going to be building that on a lot smaller number of lots. Meaning that, if you are looking for a certain model and certain color, your lot options are going to be kind of slim, probably because they're only going to be building that home in so many lots and that color in so many lots. So ultimately, you may not get the lot you want with the home you want. So it's, again, just one of the negatives that you should look at. Number 3 on the list of cons, and probably the most popular, is the negative reviews. It's no secret that when you go online and search for DR Horton reviews, they have a lot of negative reviews. But that's going to be the case with every builder. And like I mentioned earlier, when you are building nearly 20,000 more homes than your closest competitor, you're likely going to have more negative reviews. I can't speak for other markets, only for the communities here in Coastal Delaware, but I can say that out of the DR Horton homes that I have sold and the homeowners that I have talked with that have purchased DR Horton homes, I have not personally heard any negative feedback on them here in our local market. I know in the macro market across the country that may be a different case, but here in the local market, I have not seen any issues. Again, people are more likely to leave a review of a bad experience than a good one, so just take the reviews online with a grain of salt and try to find local homeowners in your area that have already purchased with the builder and ask them for their thoughts on how the process went and the home they got. That's going to be a wrap on the pros and cons of DR Horton. Overall, my personal opinion, I think they do a great job building homes, and I think the pros outweigh the cons in the end. So I would just definitely consider them if you are looking for new construction here in Coastal Delaware. If you have enjoyed the content today, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button down below and then click the bell next to it so you can stay in the loop each week when we put out new content discussing what it's like to eat, breathe, sleep, and play here in Coastal Delaware. And like I mentioned before, if you or someone you know is looking to buy or sell real estate here in Delaware, reach out to me so we can work together to put together a plan and make it happen. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Peace.